Hello everyone, welcome back to another Friday and another casual champion review. First of all, thank you, fellas, for all the really nice comments from last week's episode with Belveth. I'm feeling a lot better this week. I'm still a little sick. I still got a bit of a cough. I'm gonna edit that out, obviously, in post, but thank you, fellas, for all the kind words. It means a lot. If there's ever a moment where I'm really, truly and horrifically sick that it's, impossible for me to work, I'll be the first to let you guys know. It was just a fever, just a flu bug, nothing too crazy. Although the first few nights weren't that great, but, I'm mostly back on that grind, doing some scripts. I got a lot of videos and stuff I want to do. Hopefully Shanghai Scrolls video will release next week. I don't think this invade's really going to work at all. I mean, I don't want to have to start E. You know what? Now I can start E and I can ping like I always had E in the first place and they'll never know. You know what else they'll never know? Segue, fan art section. Yeah, look at it. Oh, it's wonderful. A lot of people did it this time. Maybe that's just because I was sick. Yeah, I need to get sick more often. People make cool art of me. But regardless, it's really awesome. You guys are so cool and talented. I really... The creativity never ends. It never ceases to amaze me. So anyway, you might notice that we're playing Blitzcrank Jungle today, which is not what you're supposed to do, but hey, Riot buffed him a shit ton. I think his W does bonus damage to monsters now? Yeah, look at that. Look at that monster damage. Whew. He could never do this 2 years ago. This is crazy. So I want to try it out. I've played full tank Blitzcrank in the jungle before, but I think today I want to do full AP because that sounds funnier. And a lot like Belveth, I don't have a whole lot to mention about his lore because his lore is very simplistic. Oh, sorry, there. I need to remember that Blitzcrank is a robot and does not have a gender, so he is technically a they, them. But he's always been a he, him in my eyes, personally. But, so I'll probably slip up several times in this video, but I'll do my best. Oh my. First blood from the Crank Gank. Patented, pending, trademarked. So Blitzcrank is one of many mechanical golems in Zaun used to remove toxic waste. And as, you know, it would be removing toxic waste on a robot, it's going to take its wear and tear over time, and eventually the mechanical golems break down over time, and Blitzcrank was no different. But eventually he's found by Victor from Arcane. That's not true. He's not the Arcane Victor. Though I hope Blitzcrank does make an appearance in Arcane Season 2, and Victor will be the one to make him. But Victor finds this robot and realizes, hey, I can rebuild this robot and do it to help people, because it was during the off year that Riot wanted Victor to be a hero instead of a villain. I think if Blitzcrank got his lore retcon a year later or a year prior, Blitzcrank would be a villain, but, you know, here we are. So he decides to rebuild Blitzcrank using the power of Hex Tech, and I think he literally just drops a shard in his chassis and is like, yeah, you go, man. Go forth and do stuff. And it works. He repairs Blitzcrank. He's back to doing what he did before, helping clean up toxic waste and help people as on. But now he can do it even better, much faster and more efficiently. But even more so than that, he's not just doing his job better, he's learning. It's, oh my god. He becomes more efficient at what he does. Like this. Look at that efficiency. Oh my god. Blitzcrank Jungle. It's a new world, everyone. Blitzcrank starts doing more than just serving the people of Zaun. Now he's able to think for himself and interpret things and start interacting with the people of Zaun like he's their friend. And that interpreting thing is kind of important because they start misinterpreting things like humans would do. Two big extremes, you know, oh, here's a person missing their key to their room. Okay, well, to find the key, I'm going to destroy this entire building. Hey, I found it. Oh, I destroyed the entire building. Oh, no. And this extreme ability to misinterpret things comes to a head when Victor tasks Blitzcrank to go clear out an area of this toxic chemicals. And Blitzcrank traces this toxic chemical trail all the way back to its source and determines, well, the best way to eliminate this stuff is to get rid of the source. Unfortunately, the stuff that was producing it was a Chem Baron factory, and the Chem Baron's not too pleased that a robot destroyed his entire factory. So he comes to Victor and he's like, hey, Victor, destroy your bot or I'll kill something. I think he'll kill him or something I don't remember. And Victor, out of the goodness of his heart, because again, we got Victor on a good year where he's trying to be a hero, and he thinks, no, I gotta save Blitzcrank. I'll say I destroyed him, but I'm gonna let him go free. And he goes to go find Blitzcrank, but turns out Blitz has already left. He's already gone. Blitz is fully thinking for himself now, fully self-sufficient. They're going to go off on an adventure and help with the people of Zon however they can. That's really kind of where it ends. I think he has some kind of interaction with Echo. He did show up in the Climb cinematic with Echo. As far as we know, Blitzcrank is just a little do-gooder running around Zon, helping people wherever they can. It's weird that his story's been kind of left in the dust for so long, considering they are one of the original 40 champions. His model really shows that. They're kind of like the Iron Giant in a way, a robot learning beyond their original programming, that they're more than what they were originally intended to do. Hey, my crab. And I kind of like that, a little wide-eyed robot helper. I think it fits them. His model, though, and his design in general, it's, yeah, it does not work out very well. Blitz, like I said, one of the original 40 champions, so their model is old as shit. And they look clunky and busted, and they don't animate right, and their hands are just massive. Do I think it's horrible? No, I don't think it's nearly as horrible. You can still kind of get the friendly robot helper vibe from this default design. It is done significantly better in Wild Rift, though. Specifically, I mentioned the preview model version of Blitzcrank because for some reason they made this wonderful change to Wild Rift Blitzcrank. They made him much taller, much rounder, made the hands a bit smaller so that more anatomically not insane. They removed all the unnecessary spikes, made the eyes more expressive. The Wild Rift Blitzcrank model looks amazing. I love Wild Rift Blitz. But then in-game, it looks just like League of Legends Blitz. I don't understand. You had the full opportunity to completely remake the model from scratch, and you just did the same mistake League of Legends did. I'm so confused by it. I really want Blitzcrank to be in Project L because that Wild Rift design, it makes me so happy. That's Blitzcrank to me. Yeah, especially showing up in the Wild Rift cinematics as well. It's just false advertising, really. You show him in the trailer, you show him in the preview, and then you put him in game, and it looks fucking stupid. That's like the best way I could describe the in-game model for Blitzcrank, because he just looks stupid. The way he sways his arms back and forth, the fact that his hands are 50 times bigger than the rest of his body, he looks so bad. I really want Blitzcrank to get an ASU, like, really badly. Unfortunately, though, if you guys saw the dev blog that came out today as I'm recording this, so that would be Thursday, they released the dev blog about ASUs, and Lee Sin's not coming out till next year, and neither is Teemo. Teemo's not coming out till the second half of 2024. Like, we're gonna have to wait more than a year from now to see Teemo, and oh man, I was really expecting that Blitzcrank would show up in Arcane Season 2, and a lot like what happened to Caitlyn, Blitzcrank would get his long-deserved ASU for Arcane Season 2, and I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I was kind of certain that Arcane Season 2 was going to come out by the end. I was really convinced that Blitzcrank's ASU was going to release at the end of 2024, same with Arcane Season 2, but at the rate that ASUs are going, it's not really looking like that. I thought Blitz was a good contender for it too, because they're only prioritizing popular champs with a lot of skins, and Blitzcrank's pretty popular. And really, I just changed him to look more like his Wild Rift model, because I really love that version of his design. The League one really does feel like the beta, clunky, busted, rough draft version of Wild Rift. Blitzcrank isn't anything amazing. He's just a round helper robot, but it's charming. He's just a good fellow. They're just a good fellow. I keep messing that up. I mean, there's a reason most people use their legendary skin or stuff like I don't even remember what they're called. What is it? The Lancer, that's the one. The Lancer skins, where it's still swaying their arms back and forth like a madman despite not even having any legs. That skin looks so whack. I mean, Blitzcrank has a lot of great skins, though. I really, really love Space Screw. I feel like I've made that known 1,000 times. He's got a lot of stinkers, though. He's got Boom Boom Blitzcrank, though the Wilder version is significantly better for that. The new Zenith Games skin looks Really bad. Maybe with a new model would be better. I hate Morgana, I hate Morgana, I hate Morgana. You know, I'm thinking about it now. Blitzcrank actually doesn't have that many good skins. He does have the Witch's Pot, the Bewitching one. I think it's one of the few Bewitching skins I actually like, mainly because they try to be creative a bit. They didn't just take X champion and toss him in a witch hat, but they made like the Witch's Cauldron actually come to life. I think that's very fun and very creative. Blitzcrank does have the best skin in the entire game, though. It's got Rusty Blitzcrank. It's Blitzcrank, but the saturation got turned up. That's, I cannot believe that shipped. There's 3 canceled skins that came to live and then were removed, and Blitzcrank has 2 of them. He has Rusty and he has the Sown Chaos, which I want to say, I mentioned this in the Jeopardy video because it was a category. Why were Sown Chaos, Blitzcrank and a move deleted? They were not that bad. They're only 750 RP skins. Like, were people expecting them to be amazing? I wasn't. Like, they look fine. They're not worthy enough to be canceled. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, Blitz has been around for a long time and does not have very many truly exceptional skins. Maybe that's just because he's a robot and it's easier to make robot skins than a skin for a robot, but I don't know. I feel like he could do some fun stuff with Blitz. There is one fun thing they're doing with Blitz, though, and that's what I'm doing right now. I cannot believe Riot said, you know who we should make a jungler today? Blitzcrank, the character who has always been associated with support. Well, okay, not always. Okay. For the League Zoomers, I'm going to bring this up on screen real quick. Editing, Nick, bring this up. In Blitzcrank's original champion spotlight, he was... Freak describes him as a top laner, and you should rush Triforce and Ravenous Hydra. That was real. That was... I can't imagine a world where that's a reality, but then here I am playing AP Blitzcrank jungle, and it's actually working. I mean, they've done that a lot with a lot of champions. Or they did it with Talon and Zed and Darius and Mordekaiser and Garen. Riot really has been trying to force as many champions as they possibly can into the jungle because nobody wants to play the jungle. And, you know, I don't disagree. I don't like playing jungle most of the time either. I think even Rel, they tried to make her, like, able to jungle. I hate Morgana, I hate Morgana, I hate Morgana. As far as I'm aware, Talon's really the only one that's stuck in that regard. I mean, Blitz can jungle now, which is what, you know, I'm doing it now. I think because they made his W and his E do a lot of bonus damage to monsters. That's mostly what the changes have been recently for these things. Just like, hey, your ability does bonus damage to monsters for reasons. And, you know, normally I'd be against stuff like that, considering they ripped my precious Karthus out of the mid lane and he's never been able to return. But I think the difference there is that Karthus can no longer be a mid laner. At least champions like Blitz are still very much a support. You can still play Talon mid. You know, jungle is an option for them, not their designated role. I want to steal this though, watch this. Crank gank! Crank gank! Oh, I got it! I got it! See you later, SpongeBob. Till the next episode. I should say, if you fellas haven't noticed, because I think I've only got 1 kill this game, but I do have Mastery 7 on Blitzcrank. If I do have to pick a support, they are one of the few exceptions of supports I actually enjoy playing. I've noticed that it's like Blitz, Thresh, Pike. I like all the hook champions. Like, get over here. He doesn't say that. Oh! I didn't even touch on that on voice lines. That's one thing as well that I really want from the ASU. I want new voice lines for Blitzcrank. As it stands, he's supposed to be, they're supposed to be a kind-hearted helper robot who's just there to help the people of Zaun. Very friendly, everyone loves Blitzcrank, doing great. And all of their voice lines are, exterminate, exterminate, humans have come to an end, robots will take over the earth, like, generic Dalek bullshit that's been said 1,000 times. I really would like a voice line update for the old Crank. I don't even know if we could get the original voice actor back. They've probably gone off into the coal mines or something now, like Corky's voice actor. I don't even know, man. But I do love me some Crank. It's, you know, whenever I just want a fun time, if I just want to play a champion that's just fun, Blitzcrank is usually the one of choice. Beautiful line. Treading of simplistic but enjoyable. I mentioned this a lot of times with champions that I think they're too boring or too stale to be enjoyable, but I think Blitzcrank is just on that line. Very simple kit, but very satisfying. You know, there's nothing like hitting a Blitzcrank Q, especially when you're full AP like this and it does mega damage. Always a good time. It's really barely changed over his entire duration. Their entire duration of their existence. God, pronouns are so hard. Although they never used to self-slow themselves on their W, I don't know why that's a thing. Oh, buff sharing, right. I forgot they ripped away Ivern's one thing that he did. I will never understand why that was a change that was implemented. Like, why does Blitzcrank need to self-slow? Why? Does any other champion do that? Does any other champion debuff themselves in that way? It seems absurd. They do not need that. But you know what my favorite build of Blitz of all time is? Is Earth Mode Crit Crank. Earth Mode Crit Crank is some of the most fun I have ever had in League of Legends. And when Earth is up, like just pick Earth, not all random, I would do nothing but spam Crit Crank for a solid 3 days. You just run up, E them, and by the time they've fallen back to the ground, you're ease off cooldown, especially if you go Navori or something. I'm curious how it would do now that Navori is a mythic item, but it should be fun. Wahoo! Oh! We'll get cranked. It's a good thing that I'm able to talk to myself right now, technically, because normally when I play this character with friends, my brain cells do not function. I become unhinged. Blitz and Gragas, I don't know why. I stopped thinking. I don't human anymore. Maybe because Blitzcrank isn't human. I'm just like self role-playing within my own mind. I just wish that they got a proper visual update to make themselves look not like they were designed in 2004, but at the rate that ASUs are going right now, it's going to be like 2026 until they get the proper ASU. I know, Riot, you're probably stupidly understaffed, but like 10 more champions are going to become outdated by the time that Teemo finally gets his ASU. Like, Jinx is already starting to age. You don't think Blitz looks horrible right now? He's going to look worse in 2 years. Like, ramp up that ASU team, guys. Come on. Let's get us up to like 2 to 3 ASUs a year. Not this one every year and a half is not acceptable in the current state the league's going. See, this was the advantage of recording the last week's episode on Bel'Veth after the game had already been done, because I don't know how much longer this game's going to go on for. With the Bel'Veth video, I knew exactly how long I was going to talk for, so when I was done talking, the video could just kind of end. Although, I suppose here I could just not say anything until the game's over, but maybe some more stuff will come to me in the future. I don't know. What the fuck? What? Why did chickens go to the goddamn stratosphere? What happened? Do you want to go to the stratosphere, Riven? It's really cool up there. I don't really know what that was about, but I've seen a few glitches like that. I'm like, what? I'm not going to question it. Oh, man. That game went on so much longer than I thought it was, but I think we're finally at the end of the road. Whew. Ow! Well, thank you, fellas, for stopping by this week's Casual Champion Review. Next week is, I thought it was Braum, but it's actually Brand, the Olay sponsor enthusiast. So, thank you for sticking around, fellas. Till next time, I'll see you next week. All right?